This is Bandai's High Metal 1/100 toy. I have all of the accessory parts on the toy to start with, and I'm going to work backward to how it is when you take it out of the box. So we'll start with the wings. As you can see, there are missiles attached. The missiles pop right off, so I'm a little confused why Bandai even felt it necessary to include extra wings. So what you just do is you just pull them out, and they're actually stiff. Like, yeah, you might expect wings you pull off to be loose on the toy, but mine are stiff, although I've heard some people complain that they got ones that are kind of loose. See, you can actually hear it. So I am now attaching the wings that do not have points for the missiles to attach to. Alright, the next obvious step is the landing gears. The landing gears are not integral to the toy itself. They are pop-in parts, and they pop right out just like that. Piece of cake. You have these little covers that go over where they would fit, and there we go. The gun, I just popped that right out there. See how it fits in. The gun has a grip that you would plug into it. There you go. And that's now the extended version of the gun. Alright, so one last piece here. We have these intakes. They just pull forward, and the toy would come with, I'm doing that backwards, these pieces. So now obviously none of that you would absolutely need to have on the toy, unless you really wanted to display it with its landing gears out. None of that is instrumental to the transformation of the toy, so it's not like some wacky parts former like the VF-100 toy was for the VF-25. From here you can go to gear walk without any parts mode swapping at all. And actually that's what I'm going to do. Usually I don't show my viewers the transformation of my toys because I'm kind of awkward with it. But part of what makes the High Metal toy so cool is its unique transformation method for a toy that we've all seen several transformation methods on. So it starts the standard way where you spread the legs apart a little bit and free up the backpack. This has the fins that slide out so they can fold on top of each other nicely. My toy is missing a piece. That's not common from what I've seen. I've got a replacement part on the way. Alright, so you've gotten to this stage. You do just bring the legs down like you would on pretty much any other VF1 toy. Now here's where things get a little cooler than your standard VF1 toy. The arms can just slide backwards on these rods, and then they can unfold out without the need for, messing with the legs any further. Alright, so these come out, and you've got your arms. You pull your feet out, ooh, they can go pretty far. Get them into proper position. As you can see, the feet themselves are even a little articulated, which is a nice touch. So then you get your arms out, got your feet in position, and you are ready to go with gear walk mode. Obviously you would want to pull out the hands. They're a little different and they're a little difficult because they're so stiff. But the tiny hands, not the best shape. They're a little rubbery too. But yeah, so pull these guys out. That goes back into place. Do the same thing over here. As you can see, I'm kind of manhandling the toy without any fear. It's pretty solid, as I'm applying tremendous pressure to get a door open. There we go. So yeah, those hands can be a little frustrating. I think I just have a particularly stiff version because I haven't heard anyone else complaining about that. There we go. So here we have gear walk mode, and I actually videoed the whole thing and it took 2.5 minutes. And that, folks, is why I normally don't show you me transforming toys. But there you go. There you have it. You can kind of adjust the feet a million different ways to make Airwalk more fun. Obviously, yeah, that missing piece doesn't help the look of the toy at all for me. Yeah, you can bring those arms out a little further there. There you go. The gun fits right into that hand that was stowed away, so you don't have to swap in one of those gun pose hands that the toy comes with if you don't want to. And you could, of course, swap back in the missile wings. I, for one, don't really see why you wouldn't always have the missile wings on the toy itself. There you go. Let's move on to Batroid mode. Okay, I know it's not graceful, but I'm going to take you through the transformation to Batroid mode too. I already put the heat shield on. I've just popped off the intakes. And this sway bar now swings free. That sway bar is a lot like the sway bar on Yamato's Macross Zero VF-0 toys. So there we go. We get to this point. You have your standard chest that gets unhinged. The trap door that opens up so you can swing this head, which I haven't noticed by now. That head mates up with the cockpit or the nose cone so perfectly. It's pretty impressive. Alright, so the head comes back through. Come back over onto this side. You get your lasers through. If you break them, Bandai's giving you some replacement lasers, but obviously you want to try to avoid that. There you go. You've got your head in position. You get your toy to come on down like that. Shoulders slide up. You got your wings. You got the toy starting to take place here. Sorry if I'm getting out of frame occasionally. Alright, you gotta work that down. Okay, the swing bar is going to latch into place in the nose cone of the toy, and then these hips slide forward and peg into place in those nose sensors. Okay, you get your wings to come down. Alright, if you don't like where the shoulders are, you can slide them around a little bit. Part of the genius of that design. And look at that. You are now in Batroid mode. And I will pause here and then do a video to show off the articulation because it's rather impressive. Alright, I've adjusted the camera so I can kind of show off Batroid mode and its articulation. We'll start at the head and work our way down. Head can swivel left and right. It's on a mechanism that lets it go up and down. It's not on a ball joint. The head laser is individually articulated. Shoulder is a ball joint. Arms can move up and down. Elbows, very impressive in that you can come all the way up like that. Not something you see on every VF-1 toy. Obviously you can angle out the hips, and they have a little extension so you can angle out even further than you might think possible. The toy has a Airwalk joint, obviously, and it's very stiff, nice and firm. Swivels at the knee. Knee goes all the way up and back and forward. The feet are going to help you out a lot. You can extend them out a good length, and there's an articulation point to them. So if you're trying to get that really crazy steep angled pose, you can get the feet out to the distance you need and kind of pivot them inward so the toy is getting more friction on the ground for you. Alright, so what don't you get? You don't have a waist swivel. You can't really with the way the swing bar works. You don't have a back joint. But essentially that's all you're really missing on this toy, which is extremely impressive considering it's one of the smaller VF-1 toys available. So that's pretty much it. Obviously, I really like this toy. I can manhandle it. It handles the abuse. I don't have limbs popping out like some of the other smaller toys. It looks great. It looks great in Batroid mode, especially, which has always been one of my gripes with the Yamato V2 line. Is this toy going to replace your Yamato V2 line? No. It's 65% of the size of your Yamato V2 toys. Obviously, it's a really stellar effort in this size, but, you know, if you like the size of your V2s, you're just going to think of this thing as dinky. But yeah, obviously, stellar for this size. So visit anymoon.com, see comparisons to other similar toys, see comparisons to the line art, and maybe any other little observations I've missed here today. Thank you.